up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Y'all, I'm back. I'm back because I said I was not going to go to the next day with this damn video. We're going to finish this video today, okay, girl? Okay, so let's start off where we left off. Honey, first of all, this is what I just saw right now before I logged on. And let me copy my comment. It says, oh, where did it go? Shh. You lucky. Ray J was saying something about men not wearing black underwear so nobody will see their dirty ass skid marks. Girl, let me tell y'all something. I don't know why y'all keep invested in that stock that is like, girl, it's a mess. If I heard any man say to me that he wears black underwear so you won't see his skid marks, let me tell you something. That is so disgusting. If you are with a man, a grown ass man, and his drawers are shitty, then girl, find a new man. Dump the stock, okay, and invest in something else. There's no excuse for a grown ass man not to completely wipe his ass. I don't care what you say. I don't care what world you live, unless he has no hands, no arms, and is a quadriplegic. There's no way he should have skid marks. If you don't wipe your ass, and I tell my sons, hello, wipe till it's white, okay? Period. Okay, and that's it. And that is it. I tell my sons all the time, you don't ever want to find out there are a group of girls sitting around talking about how you don't wipe your ass enough because they done saw some damn shitty draws and had skid marks. And so Ray J's, resolution to this is to fucking wear black draws so the person that you with don't see how fucking dirty you are. That's disgusting and it's lazy. And Princess Love, girl, I don't know. Whatever, child. Whatever. Okay, so let me go back to my things that we were talking about earlier because I want to talk about everything that we were talking about earlier. So the next post that I was reviewing was from the Jasmine brand. It says some Red Lobster employees say they work when they're ill because of the lack of paid sick leave and pressure from their manager. According to the Business Insider, Red Lobster staff said they work when they're ill because of the lack of paid sick leave and pressures from managers, according to the report. They say it's down to the lack of paid sick leave and pressure from managers. In a shift project survey, just 12% of Red Lobster staff said they had access to paid sick leave. That's sickening. James Schwartz, a former Red Lobster bartender in Pennsylvania, said he told management he wasn't coming to work after he developed C19 symptoms. He said that management told him he'd have to either work or find cover for his shift. Otherwise, he'd get written up. Schwartz said that ultimately he stayed home for 2 weeks but had no paid time off. That is disgusting. And Red Lobster and other companies who operate like this, who make people feel like they have to come into work sick because they have to or they won't get paid, that's deplorable. It is deplorable. And Red Lobster isn't the only company that operates like this. There are plenty of Americans running around here feeling like they must go to work because even if they're sick, because they don't have the option to have paid time off. That's unexcusable. Also, I just would like to add, food service workers, since everything has been going on with the pansexual, I feel like food service workers, anyone who is working around food, must wear a mask and a hairnet. I don't give a damn what it looked like. Okay, shout out to Cynthia Bailey. I don't give a damn what it looked like. You should have a mask from the hostess to the motherfucking barbacks. Y'all should have masks on, especially dealing with food. I think that should be regulatory, period. But to not pay your employees if they're sick, because what's going to happen if they're sick? That shows me that you don't care for your employees, and in that You definitely don't care about your customer. I know plenty of companies who operate like this. There is a lack of humanity. There is, all these people care about is making money, and that's it. They don't care about the employee. They don't care about the employee passing a virus to their customer and then that customer passing it to someone else. They don't care. As long as you ordered the goddamn crab fest and a Bahama Mama. Where's Bahama Mamas? Is that in a Red Lobster or is that someplace else? Where's Bahama Mamas from? Bahama Mamas. Is that Red Lobster? I think that is Red Lobster. Isn't Bahama Mamas a Red Lobster? Yes. As long as you order they goddamn drinks and buy they damn crab legs, then they don't care. They don't care if you got sick. They don't care if the person who served you all their damn. Let me tell you something. This and this is connected. If you didn't know, this and this is connected. There are specialists out there who just operate and who function and whose scope of business and practice only focuses on the ear, the nose, and the throat because they're all connected. I want to tell y'all something, and this is just common sense, but I figure I would tell y'all. When you don't have that mask over your nose, it is going, the same route that goes in and down is the same route that goes in your mouth and down. Yeah. So you not having your nose covered is just like you not having your mouth covered. It is exactly the same thing as you not having your mouth covered. So while you walking around with your nose uncovered, whatever would have went in your mouth is going in your nose, and now it's going into the same place where it would have went had it gone through your mouth. So leaving your mouth covered and your nose uncovered does absolutely nothing. Plus you look like a fucking idiot. I'm just saying, I thought I would just let everybody know that. But getting back to people not getting paid for sick time or whatever like that, I don't agree with that. And like I said, it goes to show that there is a complete disregard for the human being. If you don't care that the person, to the fact where you say, you need to come in, I don't care if you are sick. I don't care if you have a virus that is transferable. I don't care. What I care about is you coming in and making sure that there's coverage so that you can then transfer your virus to the other people that you come in contact with. That's what they're saying. Red Lobster, you ought to be ashamed of your damn self. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, and every employee should have paid time off. And it can accrue. Make it so it can accrue. You can accrue the time off or just slap it on at the beginning of the year and say, this is your bank until the end of the year. That's it. And people will use their time off if they want to use it for whatever they want to use it for. And if they're really sick and they don't have no time, then that's on them. But you should not make it an option that somebody can say, hey, I need to take care of my body and completely regenerate so that I can come back and actually perform to the best of my ability. But you don't care nothing about the employee to the point where you don't give a fuck if they come in sick or not. And their performance is lackluster. That means their service is lackluster. So again, you're just showing me that all you care about is the money. You do not care about the human customer, and you don't care about the human employee. And you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be. Red Lobster and everybody that works under Red Lobster. Here's another. Maya Angelou becomes the first Black woman to appear on the U.S. quarter. Okay. The U.S. Mint said it's begun shipping out the first quarters featuring trailblazing American women, starting with late poet, writer, and activist Maya Angelou, and the first Black woman to appear on the quarter. The quarter design depicts Angelou with outstretched arms while a bird reflecting behind her with raising sunbeams. Images are inspired by her poetry. Part of the American Women Quarters program, the Angelou coin is one of 4 expected to be shipped through this year through 2025, USA Today reports. It is my honor to present the nation's first circulating coins dedicated to celebrating American women and their contributions to American history, Mint Deputy Director Ventress C. Gibson said in a press release. Each 2022 quarter is designed to reflect the breadth and depth of accomplishments being celebrated throughout the historic coin program. Mother Maya Angelou featured on the reverse of this first coin in its series, use words to inspire and uplift. So shout out to Maya Angelou for being the first Black woman to appear on the U.S. Quarter. We're here for it. Yes, and they use a wonderful picture. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked for using a flattering picture of Mother Maya. Yes, you see her? Yes, ma'am. I'm going to get the cord. I'm going to be excited to get it if I see it in circulation. All right, here's another story. Suki and Bill are released from the hospital. Sukiana and her toxic boyfriend were in a car accident. Oh my God, it's a mess. It's a mess. Hopefully they weren't paying attention and not filming a video arguing and fighting while driving. Hopefully that's not the case. But here's this story that I left on, and this is when I realized that the camera wasn't going. Baby, when I tell you Moniece and Akbar V, y'all so lucky. Bitch, y'all bitches are so lucky that I did not press record because I dragged both of y'all. I dragged the dog mess out of y'all. Moniece Slaughter defends Akbar V after a fan tried to troll her for posting her kids. Y'all gotta stop. This woman was never taught how to be a traditional mother. Number one, I'm going to say it clear and plain. Whenever Black people say traditional, you know what you're aligning the ideologies to? Whiteness. What are you defining as traditional? Especially if you're talking about Black women. You tell me what you define as a traditional mother, because I didn't know there was a role for a traditional mother. When y'all say that, I think y'all be trying to say one thing, but what you're really trying to say is it needs to look more like what you would look like if you fully assimilated to white culture. That's what traditional means to me. Because when you think about the Black community and the traditions handed down, the traditions that have been handed down, they don't look like the other group of people that are Americans in this country. So when you say traditional mother, I want to know what do you mean by traditional? That's number one. Number two, while y'all are worried about, let's hear what she said. Moniece said, she added the person. I'm going to say this because I know you and I know her. Y'all got to stop with the comments like these. This woman has been sexually assaulted by family. This woman was raised by the streets. Literally, this woman was never taught how to be a traditional mother. Who's going to teach her? Her village? Who is going to teach her how to be this traditional mother? I want to know what traditional means. I want to know what traditional means. She has owned the aforementioned and said so herself. Now, I don't agree with a lot of what she says or done. However, I'm guilty of some of the same reactions out of pain, sometimes out of guilt. People used to say the same thing about me. You want a cookie, a pat on the back, a gold medal? Meanwhile, I was fighting silent psychological battles nobody knew about. I did what was best for my tiny human and his emotional well-being, which was allow his father, the more physically stable parent, the parent with a village, to keep him while I went to therapy, psychiatry, and parenting classes. Don't nobody silent suffer more than a Black woman. Be more empathetic, and that will lead to more understanding and compassion within our community. What matters is what she's doing for her children now. Separate the antics from the woman. No. Because while you're acting like a buffoon on the internet, at the same time, you're still a mom. So while you are not thinking about you being a mother, why do I have to think about you being a mother when you're not thinking about being a mother? I don't understand why we have to extend grace to people that are clearly not learning from their mistakes, that are clearly not using the resources that they have access to get those parenting classes, to unlearn the behavior that is putting them in the position now. Akbar V seems to be comfortable where she sits on a daily basis. Yes, she's trying to be a good mother, whatever that looks like. But let me tell you one thing. Every person with a vagina is not fit to be a mother, let alone a good mother. Just because you have a dick doesn't mean you should go around making kids just because you have a dick. Moniece, your fucking ass is sitting over there pregnant, about to have another child, come into this function because you don't even fucking get along with the person who impregnated you. Aren't they engaged? They have a fiance or some shit like that. You was on the internet rubbing your belly like you was doing something. So you ain't learned shit. So I don't even know why we asking you for any kind of advice. Because what have you learned? What have you learned from Cam's situation and how you had to let Fizz, like when you think about it, Fizz, you had to let Fizz take care of because you weren't emotionally stable enough. While that's the responsible thing to do, you're back here again, pregnant, and not in a foundational relationship that is structured that can look different for this next child, right? Aren't you on the internet talking about you not getting along with the man you're pregnant by? How did that work? You didn't learn a fucking lesson, but you want us to be mindful of how we talk to Akbar V when she's down here calling people's children retarded and shit. No, absolutely not. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. And if she doesn't have enough wherewithal to want it for herself, there's no reason why her community should be pushing her to do it when she herself keeps resisting greatness. There's something wrong with us as a community to where we try to push people to greatness and they resist it because it looks too much like accountability. And accountability, for some reason in our community, you only hold people you don't fuck with accountable. But the people you kind of like, hello Portia, you can allow them to get away with whatever the fuck they want to get away with. And then you say, well, you got to be mindful because her kids have access to the internet. Her kids have access to the comments. Her kids have access to see how their mamas and daddies is acting a fool on the fucking internet. So while you act like you care about what the kids see, the parents clearly don't give a fuck about what the kids see because the parents is acting a fool and we're only reacting to the foolish behavior in the comments. So don't tell me I need to be careful because the kids might see. The kids might see their mama acting a fool on the internet. The kids might see Tristan Thompson fucking everybody in the country. The kids might see that. Y'all need to stop acting like the kids might see. And let's start from the beginning. Let's start from Akbar now having a little bit of notoriety, therefore a little bit more access, therefore a little bit more resources. And she should use those resources to unlearn that toxic ghetto hood ass low vibrating behavior. But she can't and she won't. You know why? Because there's no consequence for that behavior. She's been rewarded for acting like a buffoon on the internet. So no, I'm not going to be mindful of her kids because she should be mindful of her kids first. When she's down here calling Alexis Sky's daughter all these horrible names, she should think about her fucking kids because anything could happen to her kid. Her kid can walk out in the street and anything can happen to where her child ends up with a brain injury to where they end up like Alexis Sky's daughter. Hello? So don't get on the internet acting like you can say whatever the hell you want to say and then Moniece, you come around talking about don't say nothing about her kids. No, absolutely not. Acknowledge the effort. What effort? Don't overlook what she has told us her traumas have been and where they stem from. Instead of filling the comment section with what unwarranted criticism of her motherhood, you don't get to act like a donkey on the internet and then post a picture of your child and act like we're supposed to, oh, now you're a mother. We're supposed to act a certain way now that you're a mother. No, once again, just because you have a vagina doesn't mean you should be a mother, let alone a good one. So while she wants to run around and have kids all over the place by all these different ass niggas, get on the internet acting like a complete fool, you want us to do what now? To be careful and not say anything because her sons might see? Don't you think her daughters and sons see her calling a baby, a 5-year-old, 4-year-old baby, the R word? But we're supposed to be. And Moniece, you the wrong messenger. You should have gave the message to somebody else. Because you on the internet pregnant by somebody you're not in a relationship with. So you telling me you haven't learned a fucking thing. Nothing. Nothing. Because you're doing the same thing, expecting different results. So that tells me you're insane. Right? Because shout out to Albert Einstein. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You're on the internet rubbing your belly, talking about the man that you're pregnant by is in another relationship. He's not fucking with you. So what you about to do with this one? Give it to its daddy? Hello? While you worried about Akbar V, and while you worried about coddling her while she acts a complete fool on the internet, worry about yourself. Worry about learning the lessons or unlearning, right? Because you know what your options are when you get pregnant by somebody who is you're not in a relationship with, and who is not the best person to be a father. You're going to do what now? You're going to have the baby and do what again? You haven't learned a fucking thing. You haven't learned a goddamn thing. Flood her DMs with constructive criticism. Constructive criticism means to build up. When you are resistant to greatness, you don't want to be built up. You want people to allow you to operate in the space that you're operating from and from the frequency that you're operating from. Because anything else looks like you don't like me. You don't like me. You don't want accountability. Then you would have to be responsible. And responsibility would look like shutting your goddamn mouth, talking about a little baby down to the internet, calling them the R word. You don't get no grace from me, especially when you attack children. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. And you want to be funny. And then when somebody just as ignorant as you to come out and be like, don't say nothing to her. Be positive to her because she's trying to be a good mom. Did she think about that when she was arguing with Alexa Sky last week? No, she did not. So why I gotta think about it? Girl, please, honey. Child boo. That's all I had to say. Hold on, let me say. I think I got one more story, okay? Moniece, you got a whole lot of nerve. Shut your ass up talking mess. Always talking and don't be saying nothing. Flood her DMs with constructive criticism, love, and encouragement, which is still out of pocket, but it beats the latter, or say nothing at all. The kids are innocent parties and they have access. No matter what challenges they experience with their moms, they have access. They see all of it, all of what y'all say about them and all of what their mama does. She didn't put that here, but they see what their mother is doing. And then they see how people are reacting to their mother's behavior. Let's start at the beginning, because y'all don't want to start at the beginning. Okay? And that's all I have to say about that. Girl, she'll have to answer to them one day about her actions, just like I had to answer to my child. So did his dad. November 2019 to be exact. Y'all just need to be concerned about what y'all say that will affect kids who haven't done or said anything to you. Oh, a damn word to you. Straight up. Love your sister. Moniece, girl.
Let's normalize lying to people who don't belong in your business. Can you pay my bills? I don't get child support from Cam's dad. So, what are you going to do? So why do I need to tell you my business? So you can store that and fucking weaponize it at some point? No. My vagina, my womb, my consequences, my story, my prerogative. That's not for anyone else to tell. So, yeah, it's just, I'm tired of living in secrecy. And my show airs in March, and they will follow me to my OBGYN appointments, and they will follow me to my birthing appointments, and you know, Dior is coming, whether my ex wants to leave me alone or not. And regardless of what he says, he told me that his new fiance was his god sister. So I can't let a nigga that is living incestuously after isolating me from my friends. This happened in January of 2021. He didn't tell me until May of 2021. And he only told me because I went to the internet about him, and that was the infamous post that made the shade room. At which point,
like I said, you was just on the internet rubbing your belly for a man you're not in a relationship with nor married to, and you're deciding to have a child, and you're going to bring it into what type of environment? Girl, that's all I have to say, y'all. Take care of each other, protect your energy. Peace.